Welcome once again to Midnight's Edge After Dark.
You'd like to think that, wouldn't you? How's it going, everybody? Serving the lake. On today's show, Star Wars just can't help itself. Johnathan Frakes says people are watching Picard just to make sure they hate it. Sebastian Stan's stunt double has been spotted on the set of Black Widow. What could that possibly be?
Maybe he works in catering too.
Rob shops on Reverb.
You sound like you're 10 miles away.
Tom tells me I sound like I'm 10 miles away. And Mecca, I don't know. What's Mecca doing?
She was waiting.
I can barely hear you. Yeah, I can barely hear you.
Did they bugger up my? Those 10 bugger up my settings here.
Usually
Probably.
every time I go and do anything, I have to check my microphone.
And Script Doctor just may have found the cure.
Yeah.
For boredom.
My mic got reset to 76.
You know, I give you so many good lines, Script Doctor. I hope you steal them.
I should, right?
Like the cure for boredom, and you've got the prescription for your ailment and all that good stuff.
Doctor, give it a new.
Also, Tommy out there has, whenever he's hanging around or modding on other streams, he's always like the Script Doctor prescribes, like my channel and stuff. I gotta start taking some of those.
Do it. I'm giving it to you.
Mm-hmm. So anyway,
kind of like Mr. Another gave us $5, but you need to introduce this lovely lady to my, I believe, left, or your left, or whoever's left.
Yes, lovely lady. This was like a fun word. I got
you are
enormous,
and this is my fault. He's not prepared.
No, it's just the sound. The soundboard list has grown significantly.
She has.
An Emmy, an Effie, a Tony, a Grammy, a Bammy, a BAFTA. She's an Earl and an OBE, which makes her an earlobe. Yada, yada, yada. Please welcome Miss Mecca Random.
Yeah, and actually, I didn't say it was 50 thumbs up to start. It was hopefully we could get him before, we get on the air here. So it wasn't like we're holding you hostage for likes or anything.
You did that. That was awesome.
Well, I wasn't holding a hostage for it, but
No, even better is if you did.
Sebastian
Simonson. I'm not that girl.
I know.
Sebastian Simonson says I should have stopped watching furry porn.
Hey Jesse, how you doing? I see him in the chat. We got a lot of regulars here. We got Mary here. We got Parrot Head here. We got Al Bundy himself. We got Black Phoenix. All kinds of regulars. But we got a super chat, like I said, Rob. So why don't we kick that off?
Mr. Another, I know Mechaman42 said 50 thumbs up to start. How about $5 and green Star Wars milk instead?
You can keep the green Star Wars milk. I heard that stuff tastes like oil.
Oh.
So yeah, as I'm sure some of you may know, because you probably followed me over here, I was hanging out with Critical Drinker a little longer than planned. That's why we're late tonight. I apologize. But yeah, we're here. We're going to talk about the news. We got the Script Doctor. We got Mecha Random. And I think we're about ready to go. First and foremost, the big news that dropped here recently, Rob, was this new Star Wars business, I guess.
Oh.
We don't want any.
Oh, God. Oh.
I mean, it's new to us, but it's not new for Disney. This was probably most definitely in the works as late as November of last year. It's only now being announced. Well,
Variety dropped it here roughly, it's a couple hours now, but yeah, here's the story, Rob.
Variety deadline. I mean, a new Star Wars series is in the works at Disney Plus. Variety has learned from sources. The series hails from Leslie Headland, the co-creator and showrunner and executive producer of the critically acclaimed Netflix series Russian Doll. I've never heard of it.
Nope.
Yeah. It wasn't made for you, Rob.
No. Details of the exact plot of the series are being kept under wraps, but sources say it'll be a female-centric series. There we go. That takes place in a different part of the quote-unquote Star Wars timeline than other projects. Headland is said to be attached to write and serve as showrunner on the series, with the show currently staffing. Reps for Disney and Headland did not immediately respond to Variety's request for comment. Headland also directed multiple episodes of Russian Doll. The show was nominated for 13 Emmy Awards for its first season, ultimately winning 3. Nobody's fucking heard of it!
You haven't heard of the show we call Doll where we're from, but you call it Russian Doll because it's from Russia.
What is this crap? What is this crap? The Star Wars.
It's worse than the Muppets.
It's worse than Muppets?
It's worse than Muppets. It's worse.
How could it be worse than Muppets?
It's American propaganda.
Muppets is propaganda.
No, the Star Wars is the Muppets is fun. The Star Wars is propaganda.
Oh, Muppets. Comrade. I like
Except
Muppets.
for maybe Muppets Take Manhattan. I think that's about
I like
hand puppets taking over country.
I like Comet Frog. I like Miss Piggy, and I like
the Gonzo.
Greg Gonzo. Oh, Greg Gonzo is good Muppet. Comrade.
He is most definitely an immigrant.
He's comrade.
All right.
All right. Well,
Matt G sent us a $2 super chat. Add an occasional high council host member to Mecca's intro. Okay, there you go. That's true. That's very, 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 very true.
Once in a blue moon. I don't like being in charge.
But she is on the high council, so you should at least mention that. That is true.
I'll tell you about this. Hold on a second. And I'll tell you. And there's an addendum to this. I gotta add. Hold on. Headland began her career writing and directing 7 Deadly Plays, a series which includes Bachelorette and Assistants. Bachelorette was the basis for her directorial film debut, starring Kirsten Dunst. Her other film credits include writing the 2014 remake of About Last Night. That had writers. I saw the original. That didn't even have writers, it seemed. And writing, directing, Sleeping with Other People. Besides Russian Doll, her other TV credits include Terriers, Blunt Talk. That's a Seth MacFarlane series, I think, with starring Patrick Stewart.
I got to read this one quick. Russian propaganda, American propaganda, all made in China. That's Armageddon, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we got another super chat. Mr. Another sent $2. Oh, great. More Star Woke and Saw trend. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. They're doubling down on the stupid.
Well, her Russian Doll series, if memory serves, is basically like Groundhog Day.
Well, anyway, she's currently under an overall deal at Fox 21 Television Studios, with the studio now under Disney's umbrella. She's rep by Michael Sugar. Okay, nobody cares about that. News of the development series development comes after Variety exclusively reported that a 3rd season of The Mandalorian is already in the works at Disney Plus, ahead of the 2nd season premiere later this year. The Mandalorian, one of the launch titles for Disney, is branded streamer, proved to be a major hit and pop culture phenomenon upon its release. There are currently 2 other live action Star Wars shows in the pipeline at Disney Plus. All right, let's an Obi-Wan Kenobi series starring Ewan McGregor.
That Kathleen Kennedy canceled.
Exactly. And a Cassian Andor keyboard Rogue One prequel series starring Diego Luna. Variety exclusively reported that Joby Harold, never heard of him, had recently joined the Obi-Wan series as a writer. How long ago was fucking that?
We reported that like a month ago, I think, a couple weeks ago. They're slowly getting Obi-Wan out of the mud. Or should I say quicksand?
Stellan Skarsgård. Oh, giggity. While Stellan Skarsgård and Kyle Soller recently joined the cast with Candy and Andor. Candy and whatever the hell. Nobody cares.
Who gives
Candyman Andor?
We just want to see the blonde guy.
Here's the thing. This has got KK's greasy little fingerprints all over it.
Doesn't it, though?
Yeah. I mean, a female-centric series, I seen a couple other people talk about this. Some think it's an Avar Chris series.
I don't want to look at a bunch of bitchy women for a Star Wars series. Sorry, they don't write women compelling or interesting. They just make them into a bunch of giant cunts.
And it's not going to be that a series on those like Night Witches and from Clone Wars. So,
well, Deadline has a little bit more information. Deadline has confirmed the gist of the series. While the exact plot is on the wraps, the series is understood to be a female-driven action thriller with martial arts elements and set in an alternate timeline from the usual Star Wars universe.
Wait, what? Alternate timeline?
Yeah. Well,
whatever you just said, I don't know.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
Here's the other thing.
I'm going to get a copyright strike for that one, but it was worth it.
Here's the other thing, too. This Leslie Headland, Disney is ticking off all the boxes. And this is actually, Clownfish said this. They're ticking off all the boxes. Female-driven, open lesbian. So they are ticking off all the boxes. They are trying to critic-proof this series as early as possible. And they don't
fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out.
They don't fucking learn. They are trying to critic-proof this series because no matter what happens, if you love it, it's going to be, it's because we're telling stories with a diverse cast. If you hate it, you just hate this because she's openly gay and you hate women. That's right, Mark. That's right. Where's my cricket sound? For God's sake. This is unbelievable. They don't fucking learn. They don't fucking learn. It's like Kathleen Kennedy saw The Mandalorian, saw what everybody liked it, and they went in the opposite direction of what she was doing, and she said, I'll show you my approach still will work. It'll still work.
What about the dinosaurs?
Yeah, where's the dinosaurs?
They're all going to be lesbian dinosaurs. They're going to be lick-a-lot-of-puss. I know that's an old fucking joke, but it fits.
They just admitted yesterday that nobody wants their stupid Admiral Holdo toys and Roast Ticos and shit.
Yeah, we did a video and dropped about that today, yeah.
It's almost like this is like they dropped this as a counter-narrative.
Yeah.
Probably. You're not wrong. Yeah. No.
We were just talking about this on the High Council last night, and every YouTuber under the sun made a video on these toys that, they admit that nobody wants them. They can't sell them.
It's because #world-class bullshitters was right.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I'm launching a counter-narrative. Don't you know that female-driven Star Wars will work? I'll make sure it works.
Did it really work?
Yes, it worked. I think it worked, therefore it worked. Why?
I'm trying to plug a hole with a shoelace. It's just
let me pull out this quote here.
I got an Oscar, so.
Oh, fuck. So do I. Shut up.
Mine's bigger than yours, though.
Probably.
Because mine's prettier and newer. Yours is an old white dude Oscar. It doesn't matter.
Oh, you're talking about your Oscar? I thought you were talking about your dick. Greg Masters sent $5. Should I read that, guys? I might as well. Robin Tom sing Karen Says, Jane's Addiction parody by MEAD. I will put that in the coffers in my pants to go buy cocaine, and I will tell them. Bye. See you later, Frank.
This is probably.
Go buy Congo.
This is the last gasp of Kathleen Kennedy's stewardship, isn't it?
Oh, she's trying. This is. I think you're right on the button, Rob, when you said this is counter programming to last night.
Yeah.
Yesterday when that story dropped, because that was the biggest last. I mean, they've already been kicked in the groin, kicked in the shins, kicked in the gut, and punched in the face. This is another kick to the groin right after you're just getting over the first one.
They deserve it.
I'm not saying they don't, but I'm just painting a picture here.
Yeah.
Tom, I have exclusive audio of the focus group that they at Lucasfilm. They were asked how they like this idea of a female-centric Star Wars martial arts series, and this was their reaction. Oh, not happy.
Well, that was a room full of regular people. A room full of Karens loved it. And Greg Masters wants us to actually sing it. I was actually going to try and put it together.
I can't get that high.
Karen says, yeah, I can't either. I can't do it.
No way.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do it in baritone octave range.
I have to do like Sinatra. Karen says you don't like Sergio.
Ben caught feeling again. Oh, wrong song.
Like a rag doll.
Yeah, we'll have to see what we can do.
I sold off Star Wars really cheap. Yeah. Now you done fucked up my franchise.
Oh, how the
coffee.
How the House of Cards has toppled, I tell you.
I got French vanilla here.
This is officially like, I mean, we can say it all we want, but no, this is like they've jumped the shark. They've jumped the whale. They've jumped the helicopter that's jumping a shark.
They jumped the motorboat that's towing them.
Yeah, I don't know what else is left to jump here.
They jumped the pier. They
have to jump over the moon next. I guess.
They jumped over the hotel that the Fonz was staying in.
Hey.
Yeah, the next thing is they have to jump over Henry Winkler.
You're like, what the hell was that?
Donnie Most.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
This is just bullshit. Like, nobody wants this. Girls don't care anymore about this shit, especially after you broke their little fucking hearts with their little Twilight shit by killing off Ben! Where's Ben?
Yeah, well, this was given the green light before The Rise of Skywalker came to theaters. It's just only now we're hearing about it because I've already have it confirmed by other people. No, Disney is not taking anything that was pitched at all in 2020 for their following series. Everything is being developed right now is already approved prior to the New Year's of 2019. So this is all just old hat. It's going to be running through. The reason you're releasing it now is because, frankly, Star Wars needs some news.
Here we go.
Here we go. This is the fan.
And Matt G reminded me that the shark was trans too, by the way.
No.
And named Karen.
They love this.
I love this.
They love it.
Yeah, back at that. Ray Skywalker.
There's your fans. There's your fans. You coveted so badly.
Oh, there's more. This is the full clip I found. Talking over it. Giggle over
it. Star Wars.
I love these people.
A second, Mr. Another. Mr. Another, $10. A second Star Wars timeline. Holy Dr. Woke and multiverse mediocrity. Now, let me ask you a question, Script Doctor. Any particular reason why they're not taking any pitches in 2020? Is it just that they're doubling down on everything? What is it? I mean,
what I have from a report is that Disney Plus and Disney is currently not taking any pitches because they're currently focused on salvaging the products they currently have, and that's a direct quote from one of their reps that have pulled out to a whole bunch of us. I think I sent Andre and Tom you the whole listing of networks and stuff a few weeks ago about that.
And this is how they're gonna do it.
Yep. Oh man, I mean, come on. And thank you again, Mr. Another, for the super chats. We really appreciate that, by the way.
Let's throw more dirt on the corpse. of Star Wars. That's all.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Matt G sent us $5.
Kennedy is so woke. She approved Picard for season 2, and she doesn't even work there.
When that was our show, folks. Thank you and good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Oh,
Oh,
Matt G for the win there.
Thank you.
All right. No, seriously though. I mean, I've never used the term doubling down on the stupid so much in one fucking week. I swear. And it's
Oh
only
my God.
halfway through the week.
It's only Wednesday.
That's what I'm trying to
You want to
fucking
help
say.
lions?
Oh my
First people want
God.
to fuck lions.
Just cartoon ones, though.
No, just cartoon ones. That's right. I'm sorry. I apologize.
For as far as we know, anyway. They didn't
Okay,
make
so are we
real
done talking about woke Star Wars? I've had enough of Star Wars.
ones. Yeah,
I've had enough of Star Wars. We just got to keep mentioning how unbelievably idiotic this is. Dear God.
It is the Karen verse. We are all in the Karen. What the fuck happened?
the world ended in 2016.
Yeah.
Did CERN
probably.
do another experiment that they forgot to tell us about and caused a
Something.
ripple effect?
Yeah, in 2016, when everybody decided we hated women because we didn't want fucking Ghostbusters, and Patton Oswalt became a bigger dick than he already was.
Nobody wants this. Get it through your fucking skull. Nobody wants this. Well, how do you know what people want? Take a look at what you've already done.
Better yet, it's
Take a good fucking look.
You know what, Rob? You dared him. So guess who's it's gonna star?
I just see people and I just play people.
God, I hope so. Oh my God, the memes.
Oh, please. Please. Oh, please. Let it start
Say
Brie
Star
Larson.
Wars.
She just wanted a
Oh.
lightsaber in her hands.
I got a lightsaber. Oh my
What is
God.
the Boag. Looks like 50 Mexican pesos.
I believe so. Does he get one?
Absolutely.
Olay!
Please go. Ole! Please go into detail and predict how they're going to make One Punch Man live action movie more progressive and more in tune with the U.S. audience. I've never seen One Punch Man, so I got no.
I'm
frame
not
of
as
reference.
up to date as that. Mecha script doctor. Do you know anything about this? I know of One Punch Man, but I'm just starting to hear about this, and yeah, I was busy all day, so I didn't get a chance to check into it.
Yeah, I only know of One Punch Man. I've seen some people do some reviews on the series and how even though he's kind of like this unstoppable type of hero, he's dealing with a lot of internal struggles and whatnot. So it's kind of fascinating. But I'm not really familiar with who the show is or the characters. I wouldn't even know how they would make it more progressive because they don't have a foundation to go off of.
Yeah, that might have something we'll maybe have to comment on later when we know a little bit more about it. But thank you, Boag, for the super chat, and we'll definitely look into that because I know some people were asking when it was over on the other stream too. So yeah, I'm sure that's something that people are wondering about. Nelson Sharetta sent us $2 as well, Rob.
Nelson Chiretta, $2. Alternate woke timeline works so well for Star Trek. Yeah.
Well, at least if they would have admitted it was an alternate timeline, we could have ignored it.
Well, and that's why I didn't really mind so much, Star Trek 09, because at least it made its own timeline. You can argue other semantics after that, but you can ignore it. You can say, "Oh, it's its own thing. It didn't disregard what came before. It's doing."
Yeah, it didn't erase what we've already seen, nor did it advertise that it was erasing what we already have seen.
Exactly. I mean, technically, I guess if you go by the Back to the Future rules, that's true. But since old Spock still exists and didn't get erased out of existence, you have to believe that the other timeline still does technically exist. And we know multiple universes exist in Star Trek anyway, so it doesn't matter. Mr. Another sends us $2.
Saw Trek: The Wrath of Karen.
Can I speak to your manager?
Dun dun dun! I am the manager.
Do you think Brie Larson is the ultimate Karen?
Yeah, something like that.
Well, she's just missing the haircut that she grew out, but yeah, I guess so.
Oh Lord! All right, next story we got here.
Yes,
Where'd
what do
it
you think?
go?
What should
What
we
do
do
I?
for
What? No, I got it here.
Oh, we
I
got
had it.
DCV Titan actually for a $5 Canadian super. DCV Titan, $5 Canadian. Watch Punch Man. Punch Man. Punch Punt Man. I
You're
said.
such a punk, man.
Watch One Punch Man. It's a damn good show. Think Superman that actually takes out his opponents in one punch, and that depresses him. Sounds interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I'm aware of it. I kind of know what it is or whatever, but yeah, I haven't been up to speed on what is exactly going on with this updated reboot or whatever it is yet. Because I've been busy all day. Whoops, that's not the one I wanted to share. Shoot.
But for God's sake,
But our good friends over at Bounding Into Comics put this story up as well. Here we go. Now I got the right one.
I'm just banjanks by the news, and I don't get to use that word very often.
Now, before everybody goes off, I mean, yes, I get it. Johnathan Frakes is probably just, towing the social line. But we got another super chat before we get into this. Ron W sent us $4.99.
$4.99. Ka-ching. Disney wants to be bought by Silicon Valley by making these stupid decisions. Would it be so bad at this point?
Would it be so bad? I mean, Apple and George could come in and fuck shit up. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
What's that, George? How would you feel about Apple buying Lucasfilm and Disney?
I like apples; they're good.
Oh, really? No, not those apples. I mean, the computer company.
Oh, I like computers; they're good.
Okay.
They made Jar Jar Binks.
Okay then. George Lucas surprisingly on board with Apple coming in and buying everything.
What?
So anyway, Bounding to Comics.
Yeah,
Johnathan Frakes on Star Trek Picard critics. They're watching to make sure they hate it.
No, again, like I said, I want to preface what I say going forward to, I understand he's probably towing the company line here, but go on, Rob.
He's also friends with Patrick Stewart, so, you know. Number one actor Johnathan Frakes recently appeared on GalaxyCon's Facebook live stream. During his conversation, the actor and director discussed plenty of issues related to Star Trek. One that stuck out was his views on fans who are critical of CBS All Access's Star Trek Picard. Frakes discussed fans who are critical of the show while reflecting on his own experiences during the convention circuit. He told the story about his first convention right after the premiere of Star Trek The Next Generation and the hostile crowd he faced. Really, at the beginning of the discussion, Frakes is asked about what it felt like to enter the weird and strange world of fandom. He answered, "The first convention I ever did was in Syracuse, New York, and it was in the winter of 1987, and the show, I think, had started that September. So the audience was very hardcore original series audience. They were skeptical. They were suspicious. They were generally not terribly interested and completely unfamiliar with this new Star Trek, which had a bald English captain with a French name and an entirely new cast. They wanted their Kirk, Spock, and Bones Star Trek." He elaborated, I had no idea what the world I had entered into was going to be like. I had no idea what experience was going to be like. I was a nervous wreck. The conversation then goes into Frakes' experience as Captain America before it's brought back to Star Trek. Really? Around at around the 22-30 minute mark, Frakes is asked about when Star Trek the original series fans began to embrace the Next Generation cast and show. Frakes responded, "I don't think it was until the second or third year when the show got really good. And remember, we did 26 a year. That was a lot a year. That's 50, 60 shows in." He added, "They realized there was room in their world for both shows. And then Paramount, in its wisdom and greed, produced Voyager and Deep Space." He calls it Deep Throat 9.
Oh,
and Enterprise. And it went on and on. And then we shut down, and they shut down. And JJ kept it under wraps until he produced the movies, which were wonderfully received and didn't seem to have the same sort of resentment about being the new Trek. Well, how times change. Frakes then discussed the reception to Star Trek Discovery. But my friends at Discovery, which I was privileged to be a part of and still am, there was a similar vibe when that show came out. People, they didn't want to find room in their hearts for another Star Trek, which there clearly is. Yeah, but it sucks. He then touched on Picard, and one of the reasons that was not a factor in launching Picard is because the hardcore fans love Picard and were inclined to look forward to the show and look forward to having him and look forward to whatever the story because they knew him. It's kind of awkwardly worded here because they knew him and they knew who he was. And I think the familiarity with all fandom is so important. It's like the canon of these shows. They want a touch point. Exactly. That's exactly what it is. And it's important. And it clearly worked because Picard was wonderful, Frakes added. Some argue familiarity Frakes talking about isn't there with Star Trek Picard. Since the show has aired, many fans have expressed their concern that Picard is not the Picard that they know. And the world the show inhabits is not Star Trek. Instead, it's a hollow, expensive CGI version of Star Trek. YouTuber Script Doctor, shameless plug. No,
yeah, there's a couple good name drops in this.
Notes of problems with Star Trek are very easy to see in its inconsistent story, plot holes, and cheap writing techniques that are used to hide obvious rewrites and reshoots.
But John left out Andres. Ugh.
In fact,
I think he left out Doom Talks too, so I'm just
good line.
You know what I hate about this picture though? It fucking gives me the feels and but the episode itself was so fucking stupid. But just seeing him in a uniform like that again and
big missed opportunity. Yeah.
I know, right? It's just like, ugh.
Could have had Star Trek Riker or whatever, you know.
Fuck yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He was on the Titan, right? So Star Trek Titan.
Yeah, who the crap cared about Picard? I didn't need to see him. I assumed he'd be dead by now.
I would have, yeah, you're right. It would have probably been much more exciting to see Riker in the age realm where Picard was when he was, you know, roughly in Next Gen, taking on his own ship now, getting to see the next generation, the actual next generation, and see how he was trained through Picard. And yeah, you can even have Patrick Stewart do a few cameos. We didn't need an entire show wrapped around somebody who's on death's bed. You know, it didn't turn out very well. And in the end, they pussied out anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got a $10 super chat from Neil. If you ever need someone to talk about OPM anime, I'd volunteer to come on in the future. Also, Lucasfilm is willing to have an alt timeline for D+, but not the old EU. That really pisses me off royally. I'm sure that's going to piss off a lot of people. And yeah, we'll see about that, Neil. Yeah, we don't talk about anime very often. So, but if it does come up, I'll check in with you. Yeah, translation, like Captain Robert April said, Frakes needs pizza money. I get it. He's towing the line, but you know what? This hurt my fucking feelings, man. It disappointed me more than anything. And I tweeted it out, and you know, I did the whole "another one bites the dust" meme with it and everything, and it actually got quite a few likes compared to my normal tweets. But still, it just bothers me that he had to sink to this level. I mean, I get it. You should know something before you critique it, is kind of what he's saying. But at the same time, he's also saying something that we've been accused of many times over, and that is we're going in hating this, thinking we're going to hate it, planning on hating it, whatever. That's not the case. I so wanted Picard to be good. I wanted to be wrong about Picard. But
I was hoping, like,
we all wanted to be
My instincts were telling me this is going to be terrible, but there's that part of me going like, well, maybe not.
I don't think so, Valar J Omega, because everybody I talked to in our circle all said the same goddamn thing. They hope that, you know, it's great. They hope that Star Trek Discovery is not
doesn't follow Star Trek Discovery.
Yeah.
Yeah, we hoped that they would fix what the complaints were. We'd hoped that they wouldn't just double down on it and make it twice as bad.
No, I'm not saying that there isn't probably certain YouTubers out there that probably do things, but I've seen more on the other side that use us for in the hate bullshit than we do with our work. Because you know what? We move on to other things. We don't concentrate on Star Trek and Star Trek only, and that's what a lot of these other guys do. So if you ask me, that's kind of more negative than what we do anyway. I don't know if anybody gets what I'm saying, but I'm not naming fucking names. So, because obviously I'm not going to make anybody famous than they don't need to be. But Mecca knows who I'm talking about.
Yeah, see, and that's the thing. You got some YouTube channels who are just eat, sleep, breathe Star Trek, and I do other stuff. I will review it while it's on, and it kind of sticks in my craw a little bit with some of the way a lot of the shit's gone down, having had Chris Hunter threaten to kick in my viewers' teeth, and having all the interactions, the negative interactions with the people on the show and the people writing the show and all that type of stuff. So I'm gonna pay attention and I'm gonna snap back when I can. Like in this instance, when I'm like, okay, flat out, you're being disrespectful to us, and you should be thanking us for watching, and not just saying we're all out there just to hate watch it and complain.
Well, and a good example here is like, okay, Captain Robert April's right too here. The problem is we have very good spies, and they give us early warning on that DSE and Picard was going to suck. I mean, that's partially true for the most part. We
had spies though, because it was right there in the article.
I was going to say, not only that, yeah, people came to us, but on the other side of it too, Joker's a great example. Rob had some inside information on Joker, and I mean, we did a couple things about it. None of us expected it to be that great, and it turned out to be stupendous. And we came out and said I was wrong. It was a great fucking movie. And if Picard would have been the same thing, we would have honestly said we were wrong being pessimistic going into this series if it seemed that way. But I think a lot of us were cautiously optimistic, to be honest with you. I mean, I get, it may come off a different way, but I mean, I don't remember a single one of us not saying that we don't hope Picard's going to be good.
We all held out some hope that maybe this could defy the odds. Maybe, just maybe, that this will turn it around.
Broken clock is right twice a day type of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. That they could pull.
Well, not only that, yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Not only that they could pull a rabbit out of a hat and this would be good. Not only was the rabbit dead, the rabbit was skewered and it had its head lopped off, and there was blood everywhere.
Well, it wasn't even a
rabbit. That's a woodchuck.
That horrible whatever it was you just fucking said that probably grossed Mecca out. My point brings us back around to this article anyway. One of the reasons I held hope in this show, do you want to know why it was? Why? Johnathan Frakes.
Yep.
That was one of the main reasons I'm like, okay, I've seen what he's done on Orville, obviously. I've seen what he's done on Star Trek Discovery. Arguably, some of the Star Trek Discovery that he directed was probably some of the better-ish stuff, if you could say that even. But I mean, I thought maybe because this guy was, on the ground, and not only that, he's in the game, he might coach this show into something malleably, or what's the word I'm looking for? Something we could actually consume and be happy about or accept. Even just something that we could have accepted. Been like, yeah, it's a sequel to Next Gen-ish in a way that we get to see what happens to Picard. Okay, it's done. It's over with. Good to know. But no, instead it turned into this hodgepodgey mess bullshit with reshoots left and right and everything else. So anyway, it's made me sound like a fucking fool here now. We got a super chat, Rod. Another one from Mr. Another. I think that is an aptly named Mr.
Mr. Another, I wonder what Ms. Kennedy reaction to the Joker movie was.
Probably scared the shit out of her.
Yeah.
It was full of toxic masculinity.
No, that movie was fucking great. People getting shot in the face and had a Joker in it. I thought it was cool.
Robert De Niro.
Figures you'd like it, Frank.
Bobby D.
Oh, I'm surrounded by toxic men.
You love it.
I hate it. Where's my daughter? My perfect daughter.
She's out in her Brie-San dropping tacos, which is a fucking sin. Because I'll tell you this right now. With everything going on, tacos are the one thing we have left to prove that Mother Nature loves us.
I mean, tacos. I mean, I have a lightsaber.
We're gonna get you your lightsaber for real this time, my beloved daughter.
Well, I bought one at Disneyland. Actually, you guys just gave it to me because I don't know how much money things cost because you just give me free stuff. So like this is the type of thing that you see me with and you go buy these for all of your kids because they're awesome and you need them. Because I'm a role model.
Who wouldn't want to spend $200 on a lightsaber, especially for the dear children?
Me, because you can
Like
buy like
200. My
200.
shoes don't even my shoes are like way more expensive than that. Yeah, you can easily get a lightsaber for all your kids.
You can buy like 200 tacos for that.
You just spent it on more cocaine and hookers, Frank.
Maybe, but I'd at least buy some tacos because, as I was saying before, in these times of trouble, tacos are the one thing we got left to show us that Mother Nature doesn't hate us.
You're just an all white dude.
And I like tacos.
They're still bad for you because they're not made of vegans.
I can probably get some made of vegans. I got enough money. But you know what? I've heard vegans taste like shit.
Well, I'm vegan. I only eat vegans.
Well,
I'm not
stringy,
even
I
going
guess.
there.
There's no body to it, right?
Yeah, it tastes like bullshit.
Yes, Bree, you are vegan. You are vegan.
Oh, good Lord.
Yes. Bree is vegan. She's a good vegan too. Yes.
See,
Hello,
this is my lightsaber.
This is Papa Iger. Hello. How is everybody doing? Frank, you're looking well today.
Why are you looking at me, dude?
Because I'm Papa Iger. That's why I'm bestowing a blessing on you.
Are you checking out my ass or something? Or
Oh, no, the church has had enough scandals, Frank. Don't you know that?
what? Sandals? No, I don't wear that gay shit.
Pope Bob is here to absolve of all the sins, yes. And we're going to give a final blessing to the new Star Wars series because we love diversity, don't we, Frank?
When you say Star Wars,
It's not gonna pay. It's not gonna give you profit of that $6 billion you're missing from the Disney company.
I'm going to lightsaber too.
I'm going to pray the dead away. Don't you know that, Skip Doctor?
Hey Doc. Are these two speaking English, or is the mescaline kicking in?
I think the mescaline's kicking in for you there.
All I know is that bitch looks like a snake.
This is Papa Iger. This is Papa Iger.
Yeah, it's got like a cobra thing going to it, right?
I don't know, but it's gonna bite me. Just like the spiders in arachnophobia.
Frank, I think your wife is coming. I think your wife is
coming. My Indiana Jones outfit.
Oh, if my wife's coming, I'm getting the fuck out of here. See you, folks. Bye, Congo.
Okay, that's how we got out of that one. Oh, for God's sake.
That was my new line, and then I finally got to use it.
Yeah. But getting a little bit back to the Abounding in the Comics article, Andre was also correct in what he's saying on the Critical Drinker stream prior to this, which is that Frakes' statement kind of proves the quality true because you have to watch it to confirm that you don't like it, because if it was good, people would start liking it, much like how some of those fans that didn't like TNG at the start ended up being warmed up to it because they realized it wasn't sort of insulting the previous franchise. It wasn't a full replacement. It was just a succession to the series, and it tried to do its own thing. But Picard is not in that way at all. It's a deconstruction of his character, and then a killing off of his character, and cloning it into an artificial body, and it just takes away as opposed to building off of.
It's the ultimate deconstruction. They kill him.
Pretty much, and then they reconstruct him in their own image.
Yep. Same old body with an internal clock to take him out when when two women deem appropriate. Now he can face what it means to be a synthetic, even though there's nothing visual about him that would identify him to others as a synthetic. I mean, Daj and Soji were believed to have been normal humans up until the point where they were activated. So I don't see any legit controversy with them being synthetics if they look exactly like human beings.
We don't even really know what that even means. They're activated. What the difference did that make?
Just gave them kung fu powers and super leaping.
Wonder Twin powers activate. Form of a lame television series. Shape of Alex Kurtzman.
And then a big pile of shit hits the floor. Oh, Mecca just sent me this tweet.
Yeah, breaking. I guess Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers just tweeted this.
Breaking.
You know, the second I looked at this interview, the first thing that popped in my head was the Fox show Babes. You guys remember that?
The Fox show what?
Fox show what?
Babes.
Kinda.
Yeah, the show Babes. It was basically here. I'll put it in the DMs here. I'll put a picture of it. Oh shit!
Okay, I'm not gonna say it because I'll get myself in fucking trouble. I gotta reshare this. Hang on.
Leslie Headland says that white women in Hollywood need to step up. What the fuck are you even talking about?
Okay, we got to see this, but hey. Somebody was saying that they weren't sure if Leslie was of the female persuasion. I'm curious myself now.
Say that, like, I think women need to kind of step up their game.
Can you hear it?
Quite honest, like, sorry.
It's faint for me, but I think it's coming through.
Here, I'll play it again.
Just say that, like, I think white women need to kind of step up their game. To be quite honest, like, sorry, but I'm calling you bitches out. Like, you really do, because, like, you know,
Are you allowed to call out women if you have a dick?
I think white women need to step up their game in Hollywood.
You need to step up your game because I'm kicking. Meatloaf is kicking your ass, folks.
Wow, I think we found a new shield.
Women of color are actually outpacing white women in Hollywood, and we need to step up our game.
No, it's more like this. I would do anything for love, but I'd run out into hell and back.
You know, Tom. I was on the East German women's swim team.
Okay, we gotta stop.
Yeah.
We're gonna get in fucking trouble, dude.
No, did you never remember the show Babes from the early '90s on Fox?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yes,
Wendy Jo Sperber and yeah.
It was a kind of a precursor to all that like beauty shop type crap kind of thing, right?
No, it was three overweight women sharing an apartment in New York.
Yeah, but
yeah, you know where I'm going with this. That's a man, baby.
Hey, Rob, you just
white women. I can say they're fat.
Yes, I was insinuating that. Maybe not. Don't fucking no. Yes, Taco.
I'm just quoting my favorite Austin Powers line.
Shh, we're gonna get so fucking sued.
You're saying what everybody's thinking.
It's like the guys talking about the stonecutters. Like, shut up.
Shut up.
Here's the thing. This is why I asked for genitals on your fucking picture if I need to question what pronouns you have.
I don't know. My genitals are very well. They're not very confused. Actually, looking at this panel, no, not at all. Not at all. We've got Meatloaf.
Babes. I remember.
We've got diversity version of Melissa McCarthy, and then we've got. I'm sorry, that looks like Matthew Lillard in a wig on the end.
Oh no.
That ain't no woman. It's a man.
They need to be on the panel. They're probably sitting on her. She probably is on the panel. They're just sat on her.
Oh, she's too pretty to be on the panel. Oh,
Just see people.
Man.
That's a man. Okay, yes, we're being mean. Okay.
Hey, she's calling out white women.
Nelson Shredda also sent us a $5 super chat. You are not owed sales. You are owed not owed anyone's money. You can't shame people into liking you. Why is it so hard to understand? Yeah, that's the thing. And you know what? I get it, Black Phoenix, for being a little mean, but you know what? These people deserve a little fucking ribbing because they're in their own little bubbles. And now they're even
ones who probably are out there saying you're just an old white dude.
You know what? I'm going to take this back. I think this is kind of funny that she's actually saying this shit. You know that? Because it's kind of funny that they're actually eating their own for once.
Let's say that, like, I think white women need to kind of step up their game, to be quite honest. Like, sorry, but I'm calling you bitches out. Like,
but let's hear what she thinks means by that.
There's like, I couldn't agree more with everything that these brilliant women are saying, but like I'm also seeing the silent killer, which is a lot of white women at the top who are kind of reinforcing a lot of old ideas. I think a lot of it, to give them the benefit of the doubt, and I'll just speak from my own personal experience. It's just like I wasn't sure how to be an ally. I wasn't sure what type. I got so caught up in like what kind of terminology I was supposed to be.
Wait a minute here. I wasn't sure how to be an ally. What the fuck does that mean? You're working for a TV show.
I mean, she didn't get the Cliff Notes.
Right. Well, no, she's talking about a political agenda. She is literally laying it out for us folks here. All right. I'd say everybody, I'm going to play this again. And if I'm done with this, if I'm not wrong, I think there's a whole lot of motherfucking people that owe us a goddamn apology because this is goddamn proof that you're expected to follow this fucking mentality when you get to that point. Because she's calling... It's confirmation because she's calling these bitches out for not even following their own rhetoric. Listen to this shit. I'm going to play it back a little bit again. I don't think I'm wrong. I don't think I'm tooting my own fucking horn here, and I can see why Jeremy tweeted this motherfucker out. Thank you, Jeremy.
Oh, yeah.
Benefit of the doubt, and I'll just speak from my own personal experience. It's just like I wasn't sure how to be an ally. I wasn't sure what type. I got so caught up in like what kind of terminology I was supposed to be using and being politically correct. And so as I started to rise in television, I started to just get more blunt and just start saying like I would like a Black writer. Because if I said diverse, you get well, white.
No, don't say that.
Something somebody said to me, and I was like, wow.
What the fuck is white diverse?
No, she said someone told her white is diverse, and that's where she's going. No, like, wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Like,
so diverse just means no white people. Got it.
But to really,
there you go. Thanks for confirming that as well.
I reached out to my, shut up! The women that
Shut up!
Well, are those other two women the writers with her on this show?
God.
If those other two women are the writers with her on their show, I'm not really seeing much diversity among these three.
No, they all look exactly the same.
Oh, she wants, yeah.
Well, I did say this is diversity version of Melissa McCarthy in the middle here.
I respect who are not white writers and directors, and I said, what should I say? What language should I use? And I think it's worth it if you're in a position of hiring power or green lighting power to like reach out to people that are not like you and say, what can I do to be an ally? And how.
Right there you go. She's just laying it all right out on the table for us here. The motherfuckers owe us some apologies right about now. Do you hear the silence, Rob?
Here's the other thing that's frightening is the fact that she's asking for what language she should use, which in a Western society that's predicated on free speech is a terrible thing to do.
Yep, it's a council of Karens. This is amazing. This is fucking awesome. This is gold.
These variety interviews are just gold. This is where I get all my Brie Larson stuff from too.
Excuse me. Let's listen to the rest of this.
What can I do to be an ally? And how can I support writers of color and LGBTQ and disabled writers? Like, what can I do? And what kind of vocabulary should I be using? Because I think it's just easier. I just see it in the room. Like, I just see them kind of go like, it's just easier. Like, the guy at the top's louder. It's
okay. Where does this? I get it. Inclusivity, great. But where does that make a show better?
It doesn't. Never has.
No, because then you've got too many cooks. You've got too many different voices all competing, and then you have this giant disjointed mess. Such as Star Trek.
They're looking at aspects of a human being that, when it comes to a creative execution is inconsequential.
Fucking
Everybody has their
communists.
own.
Jesus Christ, Rob.
Everybody has their own backgrounds, their own stuff that they can bring to it. Whatever shell we're born into definitely has an impact on that, but usually it's something that we grow above, because as we get mature and we meet people that are a bit more open-minded on those sorts of things, it becomes a little more inconsequential, and it's a little bit more about our merit, about who we are as a person. At least that's how I kind of take it as a things. I mean, it's not always great to judge a person by like a book by its cover, so to speak, but you want to make sure that you're not also just being averse to any other options when you're selecting those that you want to work with.
Yeah, and Andre said it earlier. It's the same kind of rhetoric as well, here we go. It goes with this super chat. R Far from New Zealand, 349, Rob.
Oh, for God's sake. R Far, New Zealand 350. I need about 350. Comrade Stalin would be proud.
Yeah, you're doing his fucking work here, folks.
So we have.
I just see.
I'm backing this up. It's all right. Go ahead.
So we have bitter lesbian and ethnically diverse Melissa McCarthy. And who else do we have?
Token white chick. Token white fat chick.
Yeah, the
female Matthew Lillard.
Yeah, that's what I said she looked at, but we haven't really got a good look at her yet, so I was probably being overly mean or nice.
All you're doing is checking boxes. You're just checking as many boxes as you can.
No, you're right. Well, let's listen. We got like just under a minute left. Let's get through a few more seconds of this.
Like the guy at the top's louder. It's harder to say, like, I think this should be a Black writer. I think this should be an Asian American actor. I think it should be this type of, like, I would like to cast, and really, I find it a lot as well with, as a queer woman, like with characters, whether they be gay men or
I'm not surprised.
Women, where I'm saying, like, that's not a gay person. Like, sorry, like, this is not a gay person. Like, we're not representing that. You
are not. Don't you dare.
You agenda driven.
First off, lady, how dare you decide what all gay people like and are like and say and think? That is bullshit, and you know it. So fuck you. And second, gay people and bi people, and there's like 27 different shades of the rainbow of how gay you are one day of the week versus the next, versus, okay, are you bi? Are you sometimes this or sometimes there? You cannot just check the box like we're all the fucking same. So I am insulted. Oh my God. I am insulted. These people decide what they're. Oh, this pisses me off. I'm gonna have to do a video on this one too.
One that you find.
Well, this one just dropped.
Now I'm going.
Yeah, Chef Carolyn says, "You see, because every woman who likes women is the same, apparently."
Rob's
Chef
playing
Carolyn
with the soundboard.
Yeah, she's in the chat here.
Chef Carolyn, yeah, right there. All right, here we go. Let's finish this bitch off. I've had enough of her too.
This is not a gay person. Like, we're not representing that in this storyline. Like you basically want me to cast someone that you find attractive, straight white man, and that you think what you think a lesbian looks like, and that can be very frustrating as well. So I think if we can get some of these people, I'm rambling. I'm gonna stop talking.
Yeah, you probably should, because guess what? Just because, you know what? Like Mecca just said, how do you know what all gay people want?
Exactly. How do you know that? I would rather look at somebody not looking like you, somebody who looks a little bit more like, Dax from DS9 than Fred Flintstone, for crying out loud. As a woman, I am
Bonnie?
Sorry, I said it.
Why am I a lesbian?
Wilfred?
Oh boy.
If her wife looks like Wilma.
I
Yeah,
don't.
does she know what a lesbian looks like? Chef Carolyn asks. No, I don't think she does. I think she has one certain set thing of what she finds attractive, but you've got to not just go for what you find attractive. You've got to anticipate what the viewers are going to find attractive and what the viewers are going to want to look at on screen for 2 hours. And guess what, sweet cheeks? It's not you. It's not you. They want to look at somebody a little bit more interesting than Brie Larson. They want to look at somebody with some charisma. And a personality can carry somebody a long way. And this is why you need casting agents who aren't the writers and who aren't the diversity police and the be-all queen lesbian of everyone. All right, you don't get to decide what every lesbian does.
I think we've hit upon the problem. I mean, we have directors and writers and showrunners who want to be casting agents, and all they look for is the same qualities that they see.
Boys on Picard and Discovery.
Yeah.
Well, the sad thing is that directors and showrunners do have their valid input when it comes to casting for their products or shows. It's just the way it is. However, like if you have a really, really experienced and popular casting director, it's usually the studio gives them carte blanche to a point, but you have to reconcile that with the creative force of the actual show. But a casting director will actually just gather up the things that they think will work best and then present those limited options to the director and the showrunner if it were TV, and then that's who they have to pick from. So the casting director could actually be overlooking or ignoring all the ones that potentially could be superior to the others based on whatever checkboxing parameters they have set by the showrunner and production.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, I have a translation of what she just said. Ready?
That
makes more fucking sense.
No, she just wants to cast ugly women. That's all she wants to do. She wants to cast ugly women because she gets to decide what's attractive and what's not.
She probably secretly hates herself and hates her body.
DCB Titan sent us Canadian $5.
So this clip is titled "Everything Wrong with Modern Society," right? Yeah,
pretty much. I also identify as a lesbian as well, Delphied.
Well, likewise, yes. My girlfriend's very happy about that.
Probably Captain Robert April. I'm willing to bet. And no,
I identify as a basketball.
No, honestly, I love lesbians. I've had a lot of friends that are lesbians, and I don't mean that in the sexual way. I mean, all the lesbians I've known have been fun and hilarious and have a great sense of humor. These women, I wouldn't want to spend 2 minutes in a room with, or I'd want to kill myself.
See, I was like I keep pointing out in chat, Chef Carolyn, we know she's a lesbian, and we, this is one of the things that we get to talking about from time to time on stream or whatever is. And this is what I hear from a lot of my LGBT viewers, especially, is that, people, we don't want to be treated all like we're all the same thing. I imagine it's the same for a lot of different, groups, like be it ethnic or by gender. You don't want to be treated like you all like the same thing. I mean, by having it so specific and so narrowed down, you're reinforcing a stereotype that may not be true. Even not all lesbians look like Rosie O'Fucking Donnell. Seriously.
No, and something nice to say. You want to know one of the things is I trusted a lot of lesbians growing up because growing up as a fat kid, there was a lot of girls who would use me for money and whatever, and then they would, oh, you're cute, but we're just best friends. At least with a lesbian, I knew where I stood. You know what I mean? I didn't have to worry about the BS bullshit kind of crap being, led along on this catfish ride. Anyway, DCB Titan sent us Canadian $10.
Martin Luther King Jr. I have a dream that my 4 little children will be not judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. SJWs, whatever, boomer.
Basically, you're right. That's fucking sad, Rob. And thank you, DCB Titan, for that. And that's true. And I bring it up time and time again because these people want to erase all the things that Martin Luther King has done. They want to erase all the things that anybody prior to them have done or accomplished because, that's not them, first of all. And they have to be most important because everybody nowadays, the only thing they know is you can get famous by being on Twitter.
And it's not only that, they're crushing the stuff that came before them because they know they can't compete with it.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. Is like, yeah, they can't do anything better. So they want to recreate history. You know,
Yeah,
and
that's the same in the comic industry. That's the same in Star Wars, Star Trek. They're upset and jealous, and they can't do anything better themselves, so they have to first tell you how bad your version was. Star Wars, Star Trek, all of that stuff. Oh no, nobody likes Star Wars. Everybody was mad at Empire Strikes Back. Everybody hated Next Generation. And then they have to go in and completely destroy and make you hate the characters that you used to like. And then they chuck them out the window and pretend like it never existed. And they do the same thing across comics because now, what is it? Wolverine and Cyclops are having a 3-way with Jean, and I don't all this.
Mecca, what you're saying is reminding me so much of when my sister started going to college, and she would end up like almost hooking up with guys that she'd meet there, and they would end up not being able to perform through impotency, and then they'd come up with these terrible excuses as to why it's not their fault. And it just brings back to the point where, like, yeah, these writers are impotent creatively. They just can't, get excited or get other people excited in what they have, so they just blame other people for causing their own lack of creativity and trying to say that, no, what I can do, my semi is good enough.
Or it's like same excuse for abusive relationships too. It's like, no, it's your fault I'm hitting you.
Yeah.
That's what we're getting in Star Wars and Star Trek now. No, it's your fault that you're just not a good enough fan. You're just not, you're just not accepting the garbage we're shoveling to you. It's your fault. And we're entitled to your money.
Unbelievable. I think as an LGBT woman, I have to tell, is this person an LGBT? I want an Asian actor in here.
And I think as an LGBT person, you can shut your fat mouth.
Oh, you could.
It's the same mentality that we see with the writers on Batwoman. I mean, they had an episode where a character who happens to be a teenage lesbian is let off from committing several terrorist acts because she's gay, and all she has to do is community service as punishment. And you're like, that's not the message you should be putting in your content. Like, the whole concept of consequences have actions regardless of the motivation should still be prominent, and it's insulting to everybody.
As an LGBT woman, I demand no special treatment, but you must give me special treatment. That's right. I want no special treatment, but you must bow down, and everyone must bow down and kiss my ass. And if you don't, you're racist, homophobic, and misogynist.
Yeah, and the weird part is that she's saying, "Oh, I want a black writer, I want an Asian writer, I want a gay writer."
What difference does it make? Just get a good fucking writer. Sorry,
but like, you have that on paper. It's like, okay, you give me those prefaces, prove why those traits are more valuable than a good writer to me, and maybe I'll consider it, like, objectively as. But they're never going to be able to do that. They're just going to say, well, we need to have a black person to write these black characters. Like, well, maybe, but not necessarily. Why can't anyone from any ethnic background write a character? Because it's the character that's coming through. To quote Avery Brooks at a Star Trek convention years ago, he's like, when I wake up, I don't think, what am I going to do that's specifically black today? That's not how I think as a human being. That's not how we think as an actor. We don't say, what's the most, me being the whitest person on YouTube, I don't think, hey, what's the whitest thing I can do this morning on my channel? Like, it just doesn't come into my mind at all. And I don't think it comes into many other people's minds.
It would be you, because you're the whitest man on YouTube.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, the reason I can ask for a black writer or Asian actor is because I'm an LGBT woman.
Yeah, we did further than
it is my job to tell Hollywood how to check off as many boxes as I can.
You're just reinforcing a stereotype that all LGBT.
That's right, I'm reinforcing my stereotype. It's my privilege as an LGBT woman. Oh, for God's sake. Ian Slater, $2. Freud would have a field day examining Hollywood. He sure would.
Hail, Ian Slater. Good to see you, sir.
Hell, George Carlin would.
Yep.
Oh, hail St. Carlin.
Most people aren't stupid. They're full of shit. You see, you hear someone talking, say, it seems intelligent. He's full of shit.
Some people, they're all three.
Stupid, full of shit, and fucking nuts.
Some people are fucking nuts.
They're fucking nuts.
I love Hail St. Carlin. Hail St. Carlin.
Oh God, we need him. He goes, because you say, what the hell makes your, he goes, you claim privilege, and then you use your status to exert privilege on other people.
He went, that's interesting. I did not know that your vagina made you a better writer. So you stick a pencil up there and scooch around, or how does this work?
Yeah, it also acts as a
I would
pencil
think it'd be
sharpener.
easier with a dick, because I can write my name in the snow already. I'd like to see this. Prove it to me. I want to see you write, Mary had a little lamb with your vagina right now. You can't do it.
No, it's more like how writers used to lick the tip of their pen before they wrote, so these particular weapon would just dip somewhere else before they wrote.
Oh, for God's sake.
Mm-hmm. Ooh. Have we hit a new low, folks? Have we hit a new low?
Fuck this woman. Fuck
Yes.
this woman. I can't stand. I cannot stand the Hollywood privilege that they dictate and look down upon. This is one more example of them looking down on the plebs, saying you're not good enough. No, you are so stupid. You need to we need to tell you that's a lesbian and reinforce this stereotype.
Yeah, and we need George and brother Sam right now. I tell you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you could do it with a Sharpie. That's an idea.
What the fuck gives you the right to make that judgment? Oh!
Well, I'm sure he loved lesbians.
That is uncanny, sir.
He can even do them when he's not screaming.
I met this one little gentle lesbian. She, it's the first gentle lesbian I ever met. She was pretty. Usually the big burly dykes. You meet them. Hi, my name's Alice. I'm in a security company. She said, I just love women. I think men are indulgent and selfish. I said, yeah. If I was a woman, I'd want to be with a woman. And so we start going out. And I move in with her. And then she says, I'd like to spice things up. I'd like to bring another woman in bed. Now, how many guys would say no to that? How many guys would say no to that? How many of you say, I can't believe this? Why am I not enough for you?
That's right, brother Sam.
Every one of you would say, well, honey, I love you that much. It's in sickness and health, and this is pretty sick.
I just look at it like General Admiral Akbar. It's a trap.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Don't do it, Sam. It's a trap.
No, I agree. Women, you're right, brother Sam. Women are better at everything. They're better at everything because men don't have time for bullshit.
You know why? It's because they've got the pussy. They've got the pussy. That's why. It's a pussy trap. That's the pussy trap, George. That's a trap.
It is. It's a pussy trap. They trap you with the pussy. That's the oldest trap. It's not to give you the pussy.
It's the guy who invents the artificial pussy. He's gonna be a millionaire overnight. It's Bronco's pocket pal. You're a trucker. You've got to make it to Kansas City. Just strap on the puppy and go with a smile. It's Bronco's
you almost
pocket
got
pal.
him now with fleshlights. I think they owe they owe his family some money.
Yeah. Nelson Nikki D, $5. Thank God Brie Larson's diversity clause is in all her contracts. Hiring someone for their race, sex, and creed before their merits is very inclusive.
I just see people, and I just play people.
It's Captain People. Nelson Chiretta, $5. I am a writer using SJW logic. I can never write women or minority characters. My stories would have to be told, would have to be 100% white men, making me sexist. Can't win. The irony here is that for everyone, $1.52, 52 movies a year. Hail, Rob Kinniston.
But yeah, what were you going to say to that last one?
The irony here is for everyone who lauded and celebrated Black Panther as a celebration of Black culture and African culture, you do realize that it was Black Panther was created by two white Jewish guys in New York, don't you?
Oh yeah, it's just like
Is that
all
the
these.
one where they're all running around in with spears?
Yeah.
Sort of.
By SJW logic, every white writer can only do remakes of 12 Angry Men.
It was
Or
just
The
like
Odd Couple.
Tessa Thompson, even though that's why we didn't really cover it, is because the interview is like 10 years old, but you might as well
You were
mention
2
it.
years old, but yeah,
2
I
years
didn't.
old or whatever, 10 years in internet time. But no, the point is like, you know, she says that shit. It's like, whatever. Yeah, but you don't mind taking your check from a white man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's that whole. I mean, a few years ago there was talks about the free rider, which is basically like equal levels of diversity across all productions. Which, I mean, it seems good on paper, but it just won't work because there are some people that just don't have the skills required that fit the boxes you're looking for. They're not there yet, or maybe they are and they're just too expensive and they won't be brought onto the production. It's a no-win scenario in that regard. You can't do it. It's like redistributing wealth. Like, how the hell can you pull that off? Because families are all different sizes, and if one family has one more person, they get one more extra check, and so the next door neighbors are all like, well, that's not equal. I mean, that's the conflict that you have with those types of mentalities, where you're box checking as opposed to just trying to make the best thing you can.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we got more here. Holy
There's
shit.
more to it.
Oh, I seen this. That's right. I did
better.
see this. I forgot to mention this.
Hold
Okay.
up.
I remember seeing this when I was looking her up earlier, and I totally spaced it out till now. This is true. She used to be
This bitch.
Harvey Weinstein.
Weinstein's personal assistant.
Oh, probably the only one that could get work done because he wasn't hitting on her.
Because he thought she was Meatloaf.
I can't take any more of this, stupid bitch. Ow!
Harvey Weinstein was probably like, why is Meatloaf in here keep trying to get a movie made with me or something?
No,
that's not
wait,
Meatloaf, that's your assistant.
Because she's a director, so she started working, I think, in 2012 as a writer. And I think the reason she got hired as staff writer is because she was Weinstein's assistant, if memory serves.
Was she really Weinstein's personal assistant?
I think so, yeah.
So she was
for
an
God's
accomplice? Why is she not in? Seriously, wouldn't she know and be aware and be like a witness to some of this stuff?
I was going to say, so she's one of the ones who probably knew plenty of things, but covered it up. Oh, look at that Me Too going right out the window.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, let's circulate it. Weinstein's assistant. Circulate the hashtag Weinstein's assistant.
Mm-hmm. Weinstein's accomplice. I mean, assistant.
Not subtle at all.
Well, I mean, come on. If you're that close to him, how would you not be?
I know. I was going to say the same thing, Mecca, but we got sidetracked with the interview thing and all that shit. Like, yeah, I looked it up before, and yeah, never mind.
Stephen Walton's actually in the chat.
Yeah, he's been pulling duty as Wrench, letting everybody know where to go. Thank you so much, Stephen Walton. Give him a hail if you're in the chat listening. Say hail, author Stephen Walton. He is, of course, the author of the Fandom Menace volumes. So check
1
those
through
out.
4, I think, right now.
So far, at least. I think it'll be
Volume
a very
1
long ongoing series.
I think I'm going to narrate the first chapter of Sam Kinison. What are you thinking of that, Stephen? Oh! Kathleen Kennedy is a heartless bitch!
I want my record.
You ruined Star Wars! Hope you slide her a gas truck and taste your own blood!
I want my Wookiee back.
I want my Wookiee back! I want my Wookiee back!
Here's one for Script Doctor.
Oh, Ictulu, $5. Script Doctor. Oh, there you go, Script Doctor. Script Doctor, and all. Do you foresee any ramifications within Hollywood due to China and U.S. now strained relationship from recent events? Yes.
Yeah, I can see some money going away. But I'm really hopeful that more studios will be inclined to take a look at what Joker did, because they managed to pull off $1 billion worldwide without the China market. So it's always helpful to see to see successes like that, so we can cross our fingers that we can get into something more in that line again, where a movie is being able to made as a movie and not have to pander to another market that may not really get on board with the stuff we have. Because every movie that we've made that's been pandered to China has not performed to the way that Hollywood has expected.
China, how can the Chinese watch movies through those tiny little eyes? Oh, you should have shot your ass in today when I had the chance.
Hey, settle down. They're just kids.
I didn't know you wanted to get involved in the discussion, Mr. Helper.
Well, you know.
But since we're at it, you know, remember that thing about 30 years ago, the Korean conflict? Yeah, where we failed to achieve victory. Well, let me ask you something. Why did we cross the 38th parallel if Husso's rights in respect to that great wall on China? And look at the stars, why? Tell me why. Say it. Say it.
Because JJ was a pussy and wouldn't tell KK what really needed to be done. That's why. Maybe then we would have got a decent Star Wars movie.
Good answer.
I need to watch Back to School again.
Like
William Zabka's in that too. So
I'm gonna be watching you. There's got to be a. He goes, and he's, man, remember that Battle of Yavin? Yeah, remember the Battle of Hoth where we failed to achieve victory? Yeah, you remember that, don't you? Well, let me ask you a question. Why did Princess Leia cross the ice fields on Hoth and send a fleet in orbit and nuke it out? Why?
Because she had to save everybody. And Luke Skywalker was a pussy and took off to
Dagobah.
Good answer. Good answer. Good answer.
And it wasn't there. And it wasn't Han's fault.
Because Han Solo got frozen in carbonite.
Because Han Solo got frozen in carbonite. Yeah, I can't do as good of a.
Dangerfield's hard.
Hey, get him good, yes.
Hey, take. Oh, orange golf balls.
But yeah, the last thing you want to do in Hollywood is much like a Dangerfield joke. You don't want to put a stake around a movie so the dog will play with you. You want to make sure that the product is good enough to work on those broader markets. And I mean, it takes a lot of
that. But if it's
Greek letters, that must be the house.
Me and the dog share a snack.
Well, that's the thing. You don't want to put a stake around a movie to have people, have the dog play with it.
Compel people to play with it. Yeah, it has to be able to be good on its own.
Or in this case, eat it. I suppose. Yeah.
Well, the thing is now the steak they're putting around a movie now is just like a rancid piece of meat that smells and has flies all over it.
Yeah, it was pulled out of the trash and then hooked on to the product.
The shit they feed the tigers on Tiger King.
Not even, but yeah, pretty much.
Not even that good, yeah. Because at least a lot of that stuff isn't bad necessarily, but yeah.
Yeah, but that's the stuff that all last year I heard often whenever I was doing pitches, like, how can this sell in China? And I mean, if I was in a room where I was around a lot of friends, I could say I'm not caring about China, I'm caring about the rest of the world, and that's fine. But like in others, you're like, well, I mean, let the director and casting director figure
just
out.
Say you're gonna have a bunch of like kung fu fighting and other cool stuff, and they'll.
I actually don't like that too much. They prefer that in their own movies, but yeah, like. I mean, at one point I said lots of beautiful people. That'll help. And
I know. That's the point I was going to get to. Is like Rob and I always said, there was that famous article that we covered years back where they flat out said this shit's Baizu. We want beautiful actors. We want, we want Will Smiths. We want Angelina Jolie's. We want Tom Cruise. We don't want no name nobodies, and we don't give a fuck about Star Wars.
Yeah, they don't want Paul Giamatti. Like that's a sad thing. Even though I think he's a great actor, the China market does not really want to watch him on their movies.
Which is funny because we were just because it's just funny because we were just talking on Critical Drinkers stream about how that's why things changed. Where it used to be, Hollywood got sequelitis and remake-itis when the movie star wasn't the selling point anymore, and that's what used to sell overseas. That's why Schwarzenegger and Stallone and all those guys were so goddamn big in the 80s, and especially Jean-Claude Van Damme. Wasn't even so much that they necessarily made bank at the box office here, which they generally did, They made a hell of a lot more money overseas.
Yep,
Let me
the
tell
muscles
you.
from Brussels, man.
Who's one of the biggest movie stars over in Europe was for a while? Marvin Hagler, the former boxer. He was making action movies in Europe. I gotta see if I can find one. Marvin Hagler.
But yeah, that's the point. Is
Marvin
I mean, they're getting away from what actually used to sell there. It would really, they didn't have to really change anything. I mean, I'm not saying that. Okay, to be clear though, I don't like necessarily having this aura of stars should have so much goddamn control, because the 90s is where it all went wrong. That's where, you know, like the Bruce Willis's and the Arnold Schwarzeneggers and all that shit went off the rails with their shit, taking too much control and being too much part of the game when it should have been, you know, a little bit more under the control of a writer and a director than the star. But that's, you know, the world we lived in then, and we still do when it comes to guys like Tom Cruise and Will Smith. But they're the select few left. You know, I mean, they even tried to tear down Johnny Depp. He was one of the last few that you could say, yeah, he's a movie.
He's a box office draw. Yeah, well, William Goldman, before he passed away, said that Will Smith is probably going to be the last real, true movie star that we recognized out of everything, because that's how big he was.
Not wrong. He's not wrong. Yeah.
And he wasn't wrong about that. Like, and as soon as Will Smith's name started not pulling as much in as the traditional movie star actor, that's when all the others started to drop off as well. And that was late 90s, early 2000s, just after, I think, Men in Black 2 is when that really started to change, if memory serves.
I'm looking at IMDb. Marvin Hagler made 4 movies in Italy: Indio Litu, La Rivolta, The Revolt, Revolution, Noti de Poira, and Virtual Weapon. Noti de Poira, Man for Cuba. Marvin Hagler.
Salsa Shark, thank you so much for $5 super chat. And Rob's not gonna give me a cha-ching.
Yeah, I'm mesmerized by the Marvin Hagler page here. Darth Karen, I've spoken to the manager. Pray that I don't complain any further.
Oh shit, that's gonna be so much fun if I get to work on that with Jeff. The guide to being a Karen. Do you hear that, Rob? By the way,
that should be a pretty good satirical story.
You're doing that. That's going to be a thing. The ultimate guide to being a Karen.
Yeah, I think so. But do you hear that in the background?
No.
That's right. You don't.
What?
Well, you got a new fan?
Fixed. I didn't get a new fan, but I.
You fixed it?
I got it fixed. Yeah.
Congrats there. Less likely overheating in the future, I suppose.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. When I first started up, it was only running at like 80 degrees. Now it's running at like 100 something with StreamYards going, but it's like still like 50, 60 degrees less than it was. Yeah, it's running at like 140 right now.
How'd you fix it?
I cobbled together what I had already. Between that and one of the other ones that didn't fit right, I took off the fan part, put it all. It was a process. I had help. I didn't do it by myself. Yeah, I didn't do it by myself. So yeah.
Yeah, you MacGyvered it. Yeah. Oh, that's cool then. Oh, well, good work then.
Yeah, I'm glad it fucking is working. Yeah, I know. But yeah, so I suppose, what do you say did we have anything else to cover, or was there anything we missed? Or
I think we pretty much covered it.
I wish I had a lot of fans. If I had more fans, I think Midnight's Edge After Dark would have been way past where it's at a long time ago. We've been kind of sitting stagnant for like 2 years. So
I gotta pee.
That's right, so. Forbidden. I plugged it in. Finally.
Have you tried turning it on and off again? Are you sure that it's plugged in?
Why don't you try plugging it and plugging it back in?
There's nobody's. I'm not that big a fan of the IT crowd, but there's always that running joke. Hello, IT. Have you tried turning it on and off again?
Oh yeah, that's a joke. That's always my joke. Yeah.
Are you sure that it's plugged in? And eventually,
it's like you know
it just became.
Did you ever see the South Park episode where internet was running out?
Yeah, they just plugged it. They just unplugged it.
Finally, Stan. Yeah. Or was it Kyle? I can't remember. I think it was Stan, but he unplugs it, plugs it back in. Yeah.
Yeah.
He fixed it. Yay!
Going down the road feeling sad. My internet done ran away. All right, everybody. What do you say?
Yeah, I think that's about it.
Mhm. Yeah, sorry, Tom.
No, that's
I
all
cut
right.
you off.
You were gonna say what I was gonna say anyway.
Yeah, Script Doctor, tell everybody where they can find you.
You can find me here with Tom, Mecca, and Rob on Midnight's Edge After Dark. Also, I have my own channel, youtube.com/script doctor. And yeah, just keep an eye out for where I'll be popping up wherever. I'm going to be a little delayed on videos. I have a deadline to write a pilot for mid-May, so things are going to be slow on that side. But I am taking some breaks to talk with everybody here, because it's always good to have a little bit of a creative respite and also see some crazy stuff on Twitter like what we saw today. But yes, stay tuned. As soon as I get that done, I'll be back to making some more videos and content for everyone to enjoy.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
And Mecca.
Subscribe, watch my videos, all of the things.
Yes, I know you're gonna do a video about Meatloaf Lady.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna make a video on that. I got a few more. I got an Abigail Disney one I gotta upload still. I got an Ellen one coming. I guess there was more. And what else? Johnathan Frakes should come up tomorrow too.
There you go. Yeah, that
and there's a Harley Quinn one. There's more stuff that I can make videos on.
There you go. It's a good thing though.
Yeah, you would have thought that, you know, with movies gone, we'd have less to talk. No, I'm making more videos than ever. So about 3 days.
I'm sure researching that showrunner for Disney Plus will yield lots of new content for you.
Oh gosh. These people. Disney is the gift that keeps on giving. Heart attack for.
And you can find us here. You can find us on our main channel. You can find me on my own channel, Robot Shlomo. You can find Tom over on the Facebook group, on Twitter. And there's the minimum effort puppy.
We earned it.
Yeah, we did. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us.
Here's some music. Yeah.
Thanks for joining us, everybody.
This show is terrible. Something wonderful happened.